Leave it up to me to use some of the most random intro music. You already know it's your boy DaddyGoodz, and I fucking rock, baby.
Yeah, he does.
What's popping, everybody?
I don't rock.
Back in the flesh. She doesn't really rock. She don't even have a green screen, but you know, as expected, low-key just be pulling the rugs off the ceiling. You know what I mean? What's good, everybody?
Pulling the rugs off the ceiling?
I don't know. The green screens, I guess. I just say whatever.
Oh, yeah, guys. This is House Stark is what you get right now.
Yeah, I can see that.
Fellow Game of Thrones nerds.
You're putting in some real effort tonight. We appreciate that, of course.
Yeah, I didn't have time to put on makeup. I didn't have time to put up my green screen. I literally just clocked into work, and here I am.
I'm pretty excited that I was able to put a link on my Instagram story today. I was like, what? They finally let the little guys put links up? Damn.
I know. Well, usually you do all this stuff, and then I take care of the social media, but you took care of it all today, so I am super grateful for you.
Hey, somebody has to step it up when somebody has been very busy feeding the homeless.
I have been.
Backpacks. Tell me about that. What's been going on?
So for those of you who don't follow me on social media, I have been working on this project probably for like 2 months now. I started buying stuff before I announced anything to the world, but then I quickly realized this shit is going to take me so long to do by myself. And you know that saying, it takes a village. I really do believe that that's true. So I created an Amazon wish list and I posted it on my social media for people to, contribute if they wanted to purchasing items for backpacks full of basic necessities. So awesome. The list, it's right here, my original list that I created 2 months ago.
Awesome.
And inside the backpacks, they were brand new backpacks. They were nice backpacks, actually. And they had bathing wipes, hand sanitizer, first aid kits, 2 pairs of socks, toothbrush, toothpaste, soap. They had a Visa gift card for $25.
Wow.
They had a sweatshirt. They had a reusable water bottle with a Side Friend Chronicle sticker on it. I did plug that.
Branding the charitable event. I love it.
I did. And then I created little laundry kits for them that had like 10 laundry pods and some dryer sheets. Sunscreen, chapstick, like nail grooming, like grooming kits, like with nail clippers and stuff. They each had a throw blanket, a mini pillow with a waterproof pillowcase, and deodorant, disposable razors, mini mirrors, masks, 20 pairs of hand warmers.
Sweet.
What else did I put in there? Shaving cream and disposable razors.
Condoms in there?
No, I didn't put condoms in there. I should have, huh?
Almost people have sex.
I know, and I should have thought about that, but I didn't. I was thinking like, yeah, and then on top of that, I made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I bought some apples, bananas. I bought crackers, some cookies, and some like Kind bars, and threw them in a bag and put that in the kit, as well as protein shake, like a shelf-stable protein shake.
Were the PB&Js Uncrustable?
No, I used Dave's Killer organic white bread because I don't even eat Uncrustables myself, so why would I make a homeless person eat them as well? Like, I wouldn't do that.
People love Uncrustables, even.
I'm sure they taste good, but I don't let my kids eat just random white bread. Like, I've always had them eating like the healthier stuff.
Are you racist towards white bread? I'm just fucking with you.
No, I just only eat the organic and like
Oh my gosh.
better ingredient kind.
I'm turning a heartwarming moment into a ridiculous DaddyGoodz moment. Sorry, hold on.
You are.
Continue.
You are.
Sorry.
So I put like 5 of those backpacks, and the water too. I filled up the water bottles with alkaline water, and I didn't just buy whatever drinking water, you know, like I gave them what I would drink.
You're turning the homeless people into bougie people. They're gonna be like,
I am
homeless yesterday, and today they're gonna be like at the Porsche dealership. Like, I drank alkaline water.
No,
instantly.
they're gonna be at a coffee shop making sure they order like sustainable, like green coffee that's, you know, zero harm.
That's the vision.
Yeah. So the first one I dropped it off to yesterday really broke my heart.
Tell me about it.
In all the years that I've worked with this population, I've never seen somebody so bad, you know. I saw him the day before sitting in the same exact spot, surrounded by mounds and mounds of trash, like a lot of trash. And I walked up and he's barefoot and his feet are all fucked up from probably not having shoes for God knows how long. And there's just like, I can't even count how many flies were just like on his feet, like eating at them and just buzzing around him. And like, just from me standing within like 6 feet from him, like they were like attacking me too. I was like slapping them because they were biting me. And
flies were biting you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some vicious flies in San Diego.
Yeah. And so then I handed him the bag of food first and he's like, you know, like, thank you so much. But then he started like, I think after a certain amount of time of being by yourself and just being there with your own thoughts, you start to go a little mad, right? Like people go crazy a little when they are by themselves, isolated, without somebody to talk to. You're not listening to anything. Like you don't have that like mental stimulation. You're just there with your thoughts. And
you could definitely go crazy like that. I go crazy like that.
And all he wanted to do was talk. And I could hardly understand what he was talking about because it was so all over the place. He got really excited when he saw the gift card. I told him, there are socks in here. Please use them. I was like, there's a first aid kit in there. Please use it. Like, please use all this stuff. And after about, 10, 15 minutes of standing there and listening to him, and I'm just getting chewed up by flies, I had to go, and
chills by the
I
flies.
was fighting back tears though, too. I was like, I have to go. Like, I have to go. I'm so sorry. Take care. And as I'm walking away, he's still talking. As I walked up, he was talking though. And that shit sent me into like stages of grief. Right? Like I got on Instagram. I don't know if you caught my live, but I was like crying and then I pulled over.
You were crying on the live?
Huh?
You were crying on the live?
Yeah. I was crying. I had the sun in my fucking face while I was crying. And then I pulled over and collected myself. And then I went into like full on anger. Right? And then I was like, I just went through some of them stages. And then I headed back towards the coast.
Right.
And I saw a woman collecting bottles. So I pulled over and gave her a backpack. And then
that might be her hustle.
Huh?
But yeah, that's cool. I said that might have been like her hustle, but that's cool.
No, she definitely looked the part. And then she walked over to a camp where it was close by where I gave her that.
Okay.
And she was like, hey, she's giving food. Like, she was telling them, like, that was her group of people, I think. And then not too far down there, there was two other guys. One of these men were in a wheelchair, and he had a couple of shopping carts of stuff just kind of like gathered up. And this other guy only had like this pushing walker. And they were really, really grateful. They apologized to me for how they smelled. And I was like, oh, like, don't worry about that, dude. You're good. Like, and they were really excited about the backpacks because of all the zippers. Had a lot of compartments, that backpack.
Oh wow. They like the zippers, huh?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And then the one guy that I was looking for yesterday who came to my mind when I first was making these backpacks, like, he's specifically one of the people I wanted to give this to. I couldn't find him yesterday in his usual spot, so I hope he's okay. I'm gonna go look for him tomorrow. I was gonna do it today, but I'm not gonna have time. I might still do it actually tonight after I get on my waxing appointment because it's close to there.
She was so distraught from this experience that we didn't even podcast last night. We were supposed to podcast last night, and I feel you though, because when you see what people go through that aren't fortunate enough to be able to work and provide for themselves or wherever the case may be, because a lot of these people, they don't choose to be there. Some of them they fall into the
very short, very small
thing.
list.
A very small list, yeah. But I mean, there is a lot of them that is like circumstantial, and then they just kind of give up on life, and the depression takes over them, and then there they are on the side of the street living in tents and things like that. And I definitely feel for those people. And it's crazy because you go to the bigger cities like San Diego, San Francisco, Portland, or any big city, really, you see tons of people living in tents and on the side of the road. And then the fortunate ones that are homeless as well, they're living in like RVs and stuff like that that are parked along the sides and what have you. And then some of the cities, they got like camps or whatever, but I don't know what the criteria is for these homeless people to live in those places. But I mean, it is totally sad, man, especially when you see the country making money off things like the lottery and stuff like that. And like, really, you can't even get some of these people into some kind of programs or whatever and get these people off the street, because you go to other countries around the world and they're not living like that. Even the people who do fall into those circumstances, they get some kind of help and what have you. So you need people doing the things like what you're doing right now. So that's cool. It's just crazy that there's so many of them. It's just hard to make a huge impact, but you do what you can. And then,
I mean, they let it get to this point. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of systems that are set up to, like, they're set up so that it's easier for you to fail and then owe a shit ton of money, and they make a shit ton of money off of you, and then you're fucked. Like, and a lot of the people who are homeless or actually struggle with mental health issues, and there's just not, we as a country do not put money into those kinds of resources for them. It's like who fucking cares, right? Like, this country doesn't take care of the people first. Like, America is a business first and foremost, and that's that. Like, fuck the people. Like, only find ways for them to make us rich, and then that, like, they don't really, this country doesn't really give a fuck, and it's really sad.
That's why I find it hard to trust certain things that are given to the people. I won't go
into
too much.
I hear you, but like, the other piece is the way that it conditions us to think as Americans. We are selfish motherfuckers, and the only reason we live like this is because this country goes and like exploits other countries for their resources. You know what I mean? And like, fucks with their government, makes them unstable, turns them into third world countries, and then we fucking reap those benefits, right? Like, that's why we are the way that, and we have that mentality towards each other. I mean, when you meet people or you see people, like, what is their automatic attitude towards homeless people, right? It's, oh, maybe if they would get off the drugs, right? They automatically assume this shit, and they say things that makes, like, validates the way that they feel, like their bias towards the shit, and they couldn't be any more fucking wrong. And like, nobody is above something like that happening to them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
It could happen to anybody, and I don't think that Americans in general think like that, right? Like, there's things that happen in this country that if it doesn't personally happen to you and your family, then oh well, right? Like, not my problem. Or oh, maybe they shouldn't have been doing this. Like, no, that's a
Yeah, I
very
mean,
like the way we think.
and the way everything's structured, it's kind of hard to make it something that you have to care about because you're so busy working and doing
Mhm.
things that you have to do
Distracted
as
like a motherfucker.
you're distracted
Yeah.
from, humanity per se. And it's like yeah, like somebody like me, like I care about that kind of stuff, man. Like seeing the homeless people on the street and everything. I wish there's things that I could do, and there is, like, to an extent or whatever, but like, to what extent do I have to do those things before I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get to work. You know what I mean? I can't be
Mhm.
out there every day doing those things unless that was a part of like my work day and everything. And there is like people who work like within programs and things, and they get food drives going and everything, which, by the way, I've always wanted to do, like a food drive or something like that. So hopefully I could, man, maybe I should see who's hiring people for food drives this
Well, even
Thanksgiving.
just doing something like yourself, like me and my friend Jessica were talking about it. We're like, maybe we should just kind of like make that a thing, like every
Right.
once in a while, like just make a
Mhm.
bunch of sandwiches and just go hand out food to people. Like
Right.
that's something you can do. Like that helps. That's better than nothing.
Right.
Take,
Right. Right. Right.
spend like $100 or something on groceries, make as much as you can with it, and then go hand it out.
The messed up thing about that world is like there's so many people scamming that world as well, like standing on corners when they know full well that they don't need to be standing on the corner asking for money, especially in Las Vegas. There's a lot of that shit going on. I
That's why
remember,
you hand them food.
yeah, you hand them
They're
food
like,
or
"I didn't
whatever.
ask for this sandwich.
I
What was
didn't
that,
ask for this fucking bologna sandwich, bro.
bitch?" Like, they
Like,
toss
man,
it
I
at you.
tried it. It's fried bologna though. Like,
But
I'll
you
take
know
a fried
what?
bologna
Like,
from somebody.
the way that I see it, though, like, there's people, like, who won't go and do these kinds of things specifically because those couple of pieces of shit that are sprinkled in there. But it's
Right.
like, who am I hurting if I give the guy with a house a fucking sandwich too? Who fucking cares?
That's
Right?
true.
At the
I'll
end of
take a
the day,
sandwich.
like,
You make me a
I
sandwich?
was out here trying to do something nice and to,
True.
like, help someone, and if I gave the sandwich to the guy who's loaded because, he wants to stand on the corner and whatever, yeah, I said $1, bitch. That scene came to my head. Lucho, thank you. Um, but, like, at the end of the day, like, that's his karma, not mine,
You said a
like
sandwich?
I
I said
said
a
a
dollar,
dollar,
bitch.
bitch.
What the fuck? I'm not standing on this corner for sandwiches.
Yeah. So that's the way that I see it. Like if I accidentally give a backpack to somebody who doesn't really need it,
Yeah. Yeah. Hey man, at least you're
you know
trying.
what I mean?
You're out there doing what a lot of people
More
would
than
not do.
most.
So
Right.
yeah, 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 totally. I mean, so shout out and kudos for that. It just seems like something we should read. Helping the homeless is not as important as finding the million children who go missing from sex trafficking each year. Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, what are you doing to help find those children? Right? That begs the question, like, how are you going to categorize what's more important? Lives or lives? Like, yes, no, we don't want sex trafficking, but like people make those kinds of statements, right? And they don't like actually understand all the depths of that, right? Like they they attack the wrong people, right? There's people out there, the only reason it exists is because there's a demand for it. That's the only reason there's the supply, right?
The
Supply and
supply of what?
demand
Sex
of
trafficking?
children. Yeah, children. Like,
Golly.
and the people pick and choose their trafficking, right? Like the way that the media does this and this whole like, oh, while you guys are worried about Kyle Rittenhouse's guilty verdict, Ghislaine Maxwell's trial starting, but you guys don't want to focus on that, doesn't make it okay. Like, don't fucking try to diminish this by making it sound like nobody cares about this. Like, that's not what it is. You can care about both, and both can be important, right? And don't talk like you give a fuck about this just because you don't want people to focus on this. Like, that's the other piece that pisses me off.
I mean, I think there's just a lot of shit going on in the world that people could, that matters, that they can be focusing on and everything.
Everybody can focus on all kinds of shit.
There's just too much shit. So, I mean, I guess you just got to kind of pick what you want to combat, if any of those even matter to you at all. You do what you can do at the end of the day, because like I said before, like everybody's just busy living their lives. They're not thinking about the homeless or thinking about the sex trafficking and stuff like that. Although all those things fucking suck, and I fucking feel for anybody who is a victim to either of those, homelessness or sex trafficking. It's like, damn, man, like the way they got this world set up, it's hard to focus on those things. But it is interesting how, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and you're not a shitty person just because you're not doing anything for either, right? Like, we also don't need a bunch of people who aren't actually educated or invested or care or actually trying to make a difference, like out here just posting a meme to make it seem like you're actually invested. You know what I mean? Like, that's not helpful either.
Yeah, posting memes don't help at all. Yeah, posting anything on social media doesn't help at all.
Right.
Not like you can post about whatever you want, but it ain't gonna make a difference.
If you want to get more information regarding trafficking, human trafficking, you should follow Polaris Project on Instagram. They have a lot of good resources and good information, legit information, not none of that fucking propaganda bullshit. So holler.
It's about to be Thanksgiving, everybody, in like 2 or 3 days. And
it is.
I would like you all to know that turkeys do fucking fly.
I didn't know turkeys fly. Hey.
I'm
hey, Trent.
Trent says Jimmy looking kind of cute. Come on, bro.
Jimmy looking kind of cute.
Hey, bro, you better chill, man, because I'm clapping cheeks today.
He's the booty clapper.
Hey, man, speaking of booty clappers and cheek clapping, I got a shout out to my boy Derek and my boy Dom. They got really mad at me because of the conversation that we had on the last podcast.
Because Jimmy busted him out.
Because I was talking about like how it's cool for like the homies to talk gay with each other and everything, and I had busted my boy Dom out, and I singled him out specifically, and I said Dom is my gayest friend hands down, or something along those lines. And I talked about how he always says like, oh, I'm gonna get my cheeks clapped and things like that. I just want to put it on record, he's not actually gay, and he's not actually my gayest friend. Derek is my gayest friend.
Eric? Oh, Eric.
Dirty G. Yeah, real talk. But yeah, no, man. But anyways,
that's hilarious.
Just wanted to lighten the mood real quick, but I do want to talk about that Kyle Rittenhouse stuff. Kind of crazy, right?
I'm thoroughly annoyed. Like, there's just people defending it, and it's just like, oh, he's allowed to have a gun in Wisconsin. It's like, his 17-year-old ass shouldn't have been there in the fucking first place.
Right? Don't you gotta be like 21?
Let's talk about his parents.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, aren't there like, I don't know. I have to look into the laws, but he shouldn't have been there in the first place. Nobody leaves wherever locked and loaded to go to a high conflict area because they don't plan on using that shit. Like,
definitely plan on using it.
The intent was there.
It wasn't even a handgun. He had a straight up assault rifle.
Like,
it's in the name of the gun, assault rifle.
Oh, he was defending himself. Going to kill people. Well, he wouldn't have had to defend himself if his child ass was home where he should have been.
Facts.
You go looking for trouble, you're gonna fucking find it. We see you, Hassam.
3Ks in America.
It's just, it blows my mind. And like, I literally had somebody who like I'm not like friends with, I wouldn't call him friends, but like I knew his family because we lived across the street. He's like in my DMs, like smiling about it, like it was his own personal fucking victory. I'm like
some white supremacist,
some white guy. Yeah, it's always a white guy fucking defending it, or somebody who like swears people are out to take their guns. Like a lot of gun owners don't agree with that fucking verdict. You know what I mean? Like it's just like
right.
Blows my mind. I don't agree with the verdict.
I don't think anybody really truly agrees with that verdict except for like supremacists and racist people.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be like white people, but it's just ignorant people in general. There's a lot of
people who want to be white really bad or accepted. You know what I mean? Like
right, people who live in Alaska. I'm just fucking with you. Or Tennessee. No shit, no. Damn. Sealed on timeout. Oh my gosh, there might be. Hey, shout out Young Dolph, by the way, man. RIP to Young Dolph, man. People these rappers got to stop getting shot and killed by these fucking haters, man.
Yeah.
That shit is sad.
It's super sad. It's super, super sad. I also want to say super sad. Couple of things. Who was it that football player? Was it Zach Stacy or something?
That did what?
Did you see the video of him straight fucking choke slamming his girlfriend, his baby mama?
Oh shit! I don't know what that guy's name is, but I saw that Trent posted it one day.
It's Zach Stacy. I guess he was finally arrested. Good for you, you fucking piece of shit. I don't care what she did. If she didn't hurt your child like in a really inappropriate way, there's no fucking excuse for that whatsoever.
Yeah, there's never an excuse to do that to a woman, especially when you're as big as that motherfucker was. Yeah. I was like, oh shit.
It's crazy. And then
what up, Hussam?
And then that Danny Lee DaBaby shit. Did you see all that drama?
Oh, Danny Lee and DaBaby? Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm backing DaBaby on this because she was definitely about to get him. About to
get him?
She was about to try to make it seem like he whooped her, and he put it on live and was like, nope, I didn't do shit. I got you on live. Everybody could see me not doing nothing to you. Because she was going to try to get him to touch her, to put his hands on her. And it's fucked up that sometimes women are that way. They will do everything. I didn't hear that part of the story. They will do, yeah. So she was like, she was doing something to get him to be really angry and everything. And he decided to put it on IG Live like, nope, I'm not falling for your traps. Get out of my place, and then he said all the things that he needed to say or whatever, but he had it on IG Live, and then he called the cops on her and had the cops come and escort her out because she was in his place or whatever. I mean, it was kind of jacked up that he did it in front of like his kids and stuff like that, but
yeah,
I mean, hey man, you got to do what you got to do to stay out of the system. So I mean, I ain't being pushed out. Hassan, what are you talking about?
I know, Hassan, I don't know what's happening right now.
Are you okay, bro?
You're tripping in the comments, bro.
Hassan.
Ain't nobody pushing you out.
Hassan, you're like literally one of our favorite viewers ever.
I don't know what time it is in Dubai, but you need some rest.
Hassan, are you smoking?
Hassan, what's happening?
Hassan, we're going to make the rest of the podcast about you now.
Hassan, blink twice if you're in trouble.
Hassan, stop Jane. You're supposed to keep it going.
I couldn't after that because I'm like, okay, sick.
Hey, me and my boy Zay, the other day we were fucking in tears laughing because we were annoying everybody by talking about Jane for like an hour straight. And we were just talking about all the different ways to describe our Jane. And I was saying shit like, I don't get her. Or what did I say? I said, all I do is jaywalk. I was saying things like that, like, but in reference to like jacking off, like if any of you are wondering what Jane is. And then I said I said, man, I got the smallest balls because all I do is J. I've drained myself. I said, I've basically neutered myself. And when I said that, everybody was like laughing in tears, laughing. It was fucking. It might have been one of those might be there moments.
I read something. I was sent some kind of shit, and it said something around that your balls get bigger.
From Jane?
Well, supply demand, right? But when there's more females around, like your balls start to get bigger. Have you noticed this?
I've noticed, and this is not me gloating. I've said it many times on this podcast that I have a small dick. Okay.
But balls and dick, they're not always matched evenly. Some people have huge dicks with small balls. Some people have big balls with small dicks.
All right. So, but I want to continue what I was saying here. All right. That's not to be confirmed or anything. I just talk shit. All right. Yeah. Nobody run with that. Me having a small dick. All right. But
as long as the energy's big.
After doing sexual things with my wife, obviously, my junk is always bigger. So like I think like being around women and having sex and things like that, guys, especially guys who have a lot of sex,
like
I think that it makes it bigger. And I think that you might be right about the balls thing. Like if you're around like estrogen and things like that, maybe men do produce more semen and makes their balls bigger. I mean, after all, we are like half ape, and apes actually, Joe Rogan posted this like as a meme or whatever, but apes like actually they produce more semen because they have like contests and competitions on who has the bigger balls. And who can produce more semen and have more kids and things of that sort. So they produce more semen.
Right. Like a lot of animal species, like the males have whole harems of like females, right? Like because females can only produce children so often, right? Like for humans, it's one a year, but for men, it's every time you ejaculate, you have the potential to, create a child. Like, and yeah, that makes sense to me.
I heard guys who have twins have really small dicks and really small balls.
Trent, you're gonna just let him bust you out like that?
I heard it's a beta male thing. I don't know, man. But anyways, though. Yeah, man.
Oh my god. Let me find out you and Trent are like best homies on the low. Like,
I mean, that's the homie. I mean, shit. That's the homie. One of those
Lumpy Space Prince says the penis is shaped to scoop out semen from other competitors that may be inside the vagina.
I've never heard that, but I mean, the way it is shaped, like the Darth Vader helmet. What about the uncircumcised guys, though? I don't know if I could believe that.
Well, uncircumcised guys, it doesn't look uncircumcised when it's erect.
Oh, you would know, right?
I would know. I've had a few in my day.
Have you?
Yeah.
Fucking salute.
So?
You kind of like Kim K, how she's just getting saluted out by like all kinds of guys now. I heard Maluma's hitting that now. I was like, damn, I thought Pete Davidson was hitting that. Now Maluma's hitting that. I'm like, my goodness, man. After Kanye, she just started doing.
Maluma is hot, so good for you, sister.
You think he's hot, huh? You like that reggaeton
I
shit?
think he's pretty fine. Yeah, Maluma's pretty hot. I mean, he's like way too young for me, but he's hot.
This man Trent says his sons are out packing him. Well, good for your sons, man.
I believe that they are some hefty boys.
That's good, man. They'll be heartbreakers later on.
And I super want to smell their necks.
If it ain't cut, he can't nut.
That's false, by the way.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Lex's laugh too.
I know. I love Lexi's laugh. I'm glad it's in there. Shout out Lexi.
Shout out Lexi, Trent's cousin.
Yeah. I wear size 9, yet I have handsome penis. I don't know what's going on
Ain't
with you
nothing
today,
handsome
Hassan.
about a penis, by the way. Let's just
He said I
call
got
it
a
what it
handsome
is.
penis. Hassan, we will literally make a shirt out of your penis if you send it to Stella.
Send us
No, I'm
a
just playing.
pic.
Don't do that.
Send it to
Oh,
Sideframe
send it to
Chronicles.
her. No,
so
don't send it
that
to
he can
Sideframe
see
Chronicles.
it too. Yeah,
Send it
send it
to
to
Stella
Sideframe
Bella.
Chronicles. That way Jimmy can see it too, because he's offering
Nope.
my messages.
I don't want to see it.
We can share that. That's a podcast.
Oh, fuck yeah. Show me your handsome penis.
See? That came from Jimmy, not me, by the way.
Yeah.
So maybe out of your friends group, you might be the gayest.
I gotta say this. All right. First of all, no, I'm probably not the gayest in my friend group.
I'm gonna holler at Eric and Dom,
Top
and I'm
3,
gonna
though.
find out.
What?
I'm gonna ask him.
Hey, they be like, man, you don't even be acting like yourself on your podcast. You don't be acting gay. I'm like, that's a gay thing to say. Like, you want me to be gayer on my podcast? My bad. Like, I be talking about other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they want me to be on here and be like, I like cock. Oh, fuck yeah. I want you to melt in my mouth and not my hands. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah. So Eric, Dom, holler. I have
Derek.
questions.
It's Derek and Dom.
Derek and Dom, holler. I have questions.
Yeah. Holler at
that are
those
being
boys.
answered like a second ago by his whole what he just says.
Guess what, everybody? Guess what Stella's gonna do today? She's gonna go get her vagina waxed, and that's why we
I have a
to cut this
Brazilian
podcast short.
appointment, and I have to be there in 15 minutes. So I have to leave here in about 6 minutes. Because it looks like a whole tarantula right now, and I need to go take care of it.
I waxed my wife's vagina with my mouth. Shout out E. I waxed her vagina with my mouth. Oh shit. Hopefully, like could you imagine like one of my family members finally decided to listen to our podcast and they chimed in right at that moment, and they're like
her dad listens to it or some shit. Like,
that's like my number one fear with being live on the podcast is like I say the worst shit at the worst moment. Like one of my family members is like, "Oh shit, Jimmy's does a podcast," and then he clicks on it, and I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah, I want balls in my mouth." And they're like, "Oh shit." They're like, "Oh no."
They like call your wife to check on her, like, "How are things going?"
Real talk. Like, is everything okay?
Are you guys good? Is there anything you haven't told us? Is he coming to Thanksgiving?
I know he's been acting a little fruity lately.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. I fucking love my LGBTQ allies out there. Shout out to y'all.
We love you. We really do. Jimmy's, funny sometimes. but we truly do love you.
Jimmy. Jimmy's Jimmy. I don't know how to describe this. Yeah, that's facts. I am Jimmy. I am totally Jimmy, man.
1000%.
Whoa.
5 minutes till I gotta go. What else do we have to say?
Man, I feel like there's some things that I did want to bring up and I never write them down, and so I always forget, like as we're podcasting.
I do want to say one thing, because while I was making sandwiches, I had a really hard time putting the sandwiches into sandwich bags, and I really want to know why, as time went on, sandwiches got bigger, but sandwich bags did not get bigger.
I feel like this is...
Someone needs to connect me to Ziploc. I have to have a conversation with them.
Sometimes I wonder about you because, like, sandwich bags, you must be using the smallest sandwich bags of all time, because I've never had a problem putting a sandwich in a sandwich bag.
Yeah, but the bread I buy is the Dave's Killer bread. It's not just like the cheap, like, Wonder Bread skinny loaf. Hey. It's the good wide bread.
Dave's Killer bread is killer for sure.
It's fire.
It's the best bread.
That's the shit I buy. And I need Dave's Killer bread then to come up with their own sandwich bags if they're not going to fit in standard sandwich bags.
Everybody, I fucking forgot something very important today. This podcast is now sponsored by Fleshlight. And I have a link for you all to click so you can get yourself fleshlights. I don't know if she's going to let us be sponsored by Fleshlight, but I have a sponsor for Fleshlight, y'all. So if you want a fleshlight, don't buy it yet.
When the fuck did they become a sponsor?
Don't trip. I'll be making moves. You don't even be knowing I'll be out here making moves, man. We're sponsored by Fleshlight now.
Show me that email.
I will. It's in my other email.
So then they're not sponsoring Side Front Chronicles. They're sponsoring you.
Listen.
That's different.
Linda, listen.
No.
We are sponsored by Fleshlight. Okay.
We are. But you tell me at the same time as the audience.
Well, I don't talk to you no more. Just on podcasts, and we only podcast like once every 2 weeks now.
So
that's
schedule
not true, by
something.
the way. We still podcast once a week, by the way, everybody. Just been circumstantial these last few weeks that it's only been like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or 1.5 weeks. What have you.
Right. We're going to have to connect.
Yeah, Fleshlights, y'all. It's like a fucking pocket pussy.
Does Hassam not know what that is? He wrote flashlights. So. It's flesh. FLE.
I'm gonna get you all. I'm gonna get the link and I'm gonna put it in the bio of this this episode. But give me like a couple hours or whatever. I gotta get the link. I've been sleeping on that.
Yeah, you've been sleeping on telling me shit too.
My bad, dude. I'm
sick.
You know what I mean?
Are we not partners? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, man. We were supposed to podcast last night, and she just.
I'm sorry. I had an emotional breakdown after feeding homeless people.
Tell me that she was gonna flake on the podcast last night. I had to go and notice that she wasn't on the podcast at 9:00. But you know.
Yeah. Well, I was pretty distraught. I don't know what to say.
I feel you. No, it's all good. We support you.
Really fucked up. You didn't see what I saw.
Hey, I feel you.
It's really bad.
Anyways, y'all, we got a dip. Good shit, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week, and we'll be back on schedule too because
if you haven't. Yeah, are we back on schedule?
We're back on schedule.
But another thing you need to tell me.
Everybody, smash the like button.
And go get your pussies waxed.
And you can go and listen to these podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any podcast platform. I see those podcast numbers going up, so I know y'all have been tuning in on the Apple and all that too. So shout out to you all for
review.
That. Fuck with y'all peoples.